Put a little light on the subject here. Namo Amida Butsu. I was watching my Dharma brother Shaku Gankai. I put his link to his YouTube channel in the description. I noticed I become very inspired by a lot of the things he said in the last 3 videos he's made recently. And he's been talking about things like the 5 turbidities in the Dharma ending age of Mapo. And he's been talking about how things are going to get worse and how it is here in the realm of samsara as we move further and further away from Shakyamuni Buddha's Buddha field of influence, since Shakyamuni has gone to parinirvana. And being a person who lives in the United States of America and Texas, I become very aware of this. And I realize I'm an older person now, obviously set in my ways, but I am just astounded at how far down the drain this country has gone. And this is not a political video. I'll be honest with you. I'll let you in on a secret. I'm not for either party. And I've said before in other videos, I'm very suspicious of any two-party system that refers to itself as a democracy. And I definitely don't think we live in a democracy here in the United States. What gets me is not only politicians, preachers, many Buddhists, many so-called Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, but humanity in general, and I include myself in this. And that's why I titled this video Sleepwalking in Samsara, because this is exactly what I feel like. I feel like I am sleepwalking in samsara. I mean, I'm amazed at my government. Or the lack thereof. I can't even call it a government. I mean, the clown show from 4 years ago, the clown show now, it boggles the mind that we have come to accept this as a normal way of life. And I'm not going to make this about politics, but politics is a part of my life because I live in a politically run system, supposedly of government, although I feel like I don't have a government. But people in general, I've noticed the level of childishness of adults lately has just been astounding. And there was a period, and I think I talked about it in a few videos not so long ago, about how it was really getting to me. Just the chaos and stupidity of the human race was just really getting to me. And a lot of that was my own fault because I was allowing myself to be bombarded with political and social commentators whose only goal, I look back on it, is just to bitch about the problem. None of them offer any solutions. And that's why I guess I've kind of emotionally turned off, because in turn, whether you're talking about social norms, politics, you know, nobody seems to care. And Shakugankai talked about it's only going to get worse. He talked about how this is a natural result of the Dharma ending age of Mappo. This is a natural expression, outcome of living in samsara. And you would think that watching videos talking about this and hammering this point across would really upset me. But instead, I find comfort in this. Because now, more and more, not just because of his videos, but because of Reverend Josho Adrian Surlia's Dharma talks. And he is a good teacher. And me and Shakugankai belong to the same Sangha, the Amida-ji school of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. And we are a very traditional school of Buddhism in that we follow the Dharma. We're not radical, we're not right-wing, we're not left-wing. We follow the teachings as put down in the larger sutra, the smaller Amida Sutra, the Contemplation Sutra. We adhere to the teachings of our Dharma masters, Honen, Shinran, and Rinyo. Nothing more, nothing less. It doesn't matter what our politics are or are not, and I honestly don't have any politics. I've given up on all things political. I really have. I just, why waste my time? Why waste my time just to get jury duty? I mean, if I actually saw anyone doing anything, that would be one thing. But like I said, it's the ineptitude in general, how people in charge, quotation marks, in charge, it's like all they can do is screw things up worse. Welcome to the Saha realm. Welcome to the Dharma ending age of Mappo. This is why I'm here. This is why Gankai is here. We are spiritual idiots. We are bamboos. And as he pointed out in one of his videos, I pointed out in my videos for years. I think I even made a video saying I'm an idiot. You know, I mean, there comes a point in your time, in your life, when you give up on all delusion of thinking that you can turn yourself into a divine master. I had this New Age friend who was always aspiring to be an ascended master. And he would read the ascended masters, and he would talk about the ascended masters. And I've talked about how he would say, one day I will levitate, one day I will walk on water, one day I will walk through walls. And my response was, what damn good is that going to do? I want to be happy. I want to have peace in my head. Well, to understand I'm not going to ever be truly happy, I'm not going to ever truly have peace of mind, because I am a resident of this realm. I am a part of the problem. This is a positive thing to know this. and I've done the Clint Eastwood quote from one of his movies. A man needs to know his limitations. I'm very limited. I have no room in my life anymore for self-delusions of grandeur. And even this is a self-deception because we are all full of BS. So it behooves us to actually know that we're full of BS. And if I ever were to become, at this point in my life, if I ever were to get to the point where I would think that I could somehow, some way purify my mind, my thoughts, my emotions, and become some saintly sage, I wouldn't just be deluded, I would be totally delusional. I've lived too long in this Saha realm, in this Dharma ending age of Mapo, to bullshit myself into thinking that I could ever be anything great through my own self-power. I can't. If it were possible, I would be a god. Ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen for me to be a saint. I don't have the energy to waste on my own self-delusive bullshit. And I'm using strong language because it aptly describes why humanity has gotten to this point. We have bought into our own bullshit. If we just control people this much, if we control these people and eliminate these people and move them around, we will have a utopian society. I got news for you. There's never going to be a utopian society because people like me, people like you are in charge. In other words, we're in deep shit. Welcome to the Saha realm. Welcome to the realm of delusion, suffering, and desire. These are the components of this realm in the same way that nirvana is the component and collective consciousness of Amida Buddha. That is nirvanic. The Pure Land is a nirvanic land. It is a nirvanic realm. It is a realm that induces inevitably nirvana, enlightenment. Ours is the realm of suffering and desire. Shakyamuni Buddha was very clear on this. We suffer because we desire. I want to be loved. I want to be satisfied. And I was thinking about that this morning. I went to work real early before the sun came up, as I usually do. And before work, I was sitting, and I had watched Shakugankai's second to latest video before I left for work this morning. And I was just thinking about that before I started my shift at work today. And it was like, I hearken back to the days when I was always bitching and complaining that, why can't I get a leg up? Why can't things go right? I was so close to getting this perfect situation in my life. If only this had happened, if only this person had not come by and screwed things up, if only, and that's the thing. Welcome to the realm of suffering and desire. Welcome to the Dharma ending age of Mappo. There's always going to be that which keeps us from obtaining if only. Now, if only I could fly, I wouldn't have to take the bus. If only I could walk on water, I wouldn't have to take a boat. I mean, my former friend who believed he was going to attain a position where he could walk on water and fly through the air in this realm, I want to be clear on this, because in my next life, I will be able not only to walk on water, but to be one with the water, with the air. I will be an enlightened Buddha in my next life. There will be no limitations. There will be no suffering for me at that point. There will be no doubt. There will be no fear. There will be no crazy, stupid, neurotic thoughts to screw me up. There will be no self-sabotaging habits built up over countless lifetimes, over countless kalpas of countless lives. Habits I do not have the strength to break on my own, nor do I expect to. Even since entrusting to Amida, I know I will be free in my next life. I'm not free of suffering in this life. Now, I've been saved from the endless cycle of rebirths and deaths because of Amida's grace and love. But I'm here in the meantime dealing with the karma I've obtained not only in this life, but in countless other lifetimes, in countless other realms. And so is everybody else, whether they realize it or not. We have people in charge of corporations, of political parties, of cults, of churches, who think that they are qualified to know what is good for them, what is good for anyone else. I gave up on that. I don't know what's good for me. How am I going to tell you what to do? The only thing I can do is share with you what has worked for me after 60 years of living on this planet. That's a long time in human years. The only thing that works for me, has ever worked for me, is saying the name of Amida Buddha, entrusting myself to Amida Buddha, and wishing to be reborn in my next life, or born in my next life. I've never been born there before, in his pure land of ultimate bliss and peace. These are realities, these are facts, and my gratitude for this simple faith I have in Amida and his pure land, in his name, urges me to share with you what I've gone through. And for years and years and years and years and years, I woke up cursing every day, wanting to kill myself, but not having the courage to do so, and pissed off at some God for not helping me, because God, why can't you just Why can't you just keep these people from fucking everything up? Well, looking back on this, no God really cared about me. Amitabha Buddha has cared about me. All Buddhas in all realms care about me. I don't know about gods. Not anymore. I thought I knew about gods. There was no supreme God of infinite love watching over me. My life would have not been the hell it was had that been the case. But it helps that I no longer have these false expectations of life, of people. Now, I have friends. I named one of them, Shakugankai. I have friends that I can trust who have proven themselves through the years. They are very few. You guys are some of those friends. In general, though, the human race is a very wormy species. I don't like people in general. I love Buddha. I serve others as an act of devotion to the Buddha. But my love doesn't amount to much. My hate doesn't accomplish anything. I have all these emotions. Love, hate, they're all delusory states of consciousness. They're clinging. Now, I'm not advocating becoming a robot, and I'm not going to become a robot. Because I'm not a robot. I feel love for those that I love. And, you know, you guys are among that group. But I used to believe that love would cure all things. I spent most of my Christian years trying to cultivate that love and fighting a battle with what I perceived to be demonic forces attacking me. Could that have been the case? Possibly. Not solely. I've heard it said by certain Buddhists that when you die and you go to the hell realms, the demons rise from within you. So when they say your demons, that can be taken literally. And one of the things I used to say to myself was, if only I had not, God, why was I born in this abusive home? Why did I have the parents I had? Why did I have the sister I had? Why did I have to endure all this psychological, physical abuse? Karma. My karma is my karma. If my karma was from past lives and this life were any better, I would be living a better life. And I'm living the life I live, which is pretty good. I look at my life, I can honestly say overall, it's what I always wished my life to be. It's very simple. You know, I get by. I live from paycheck to paycheck. I live a very simple life. I don't get any money from this YouTube channel. That's not why I have the YouTube channel. I have this YouTube channel as an act of expression of my love and devotion for Amida Buddha. This is my way of saying thank you to Amida Buddha and sharing his Dharma. I share me. I share my life experiences. I share what I've been through. And it's helped me by sharing this, because when you share honestly what you've been through, you realize how flawed you are. And I'm very flawed. Sorry, it's getting dark outside. Let me turn on the light here. I'm a very flawed individual. And so I limp my way through life day by day, grasping at simple pleasures, living a simple life, till that life is in this realm is no more. I am content with this. I am content with this because that is a good life. I quoted the Chinese proverb, if you want to be happy, live a boring life. And I've said I'm very happy. The idea of being a party animal, I've never really gone for it. But I'm allergic to drama. I grew up in drama. As a young man in my late 20s and early 30s, I tried to make up for the sheltered, isolated life I lived in an abusive home. I went out, I screwed around, I drank, I smoked, I cursed. Hell, I still curse. And it was chasing sensations. That's all it was. People would say, hey, come on, man, let's have some fun, loosen up. Let's dance, let's get laid, you know, well, let's do this, let's do that, let's, you know, I got some pot, man, I got some this, I got some that. And, you know, it was the 80s. It was the early 90s. And it didn't do anything for me. I gave, like everything else, like my spiritual path and everything else, and I've shared with you, I gave it my all. I mean, I didn't care. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to find peace. I wanted to find contentment. Take a sip of cranberry juice here. See, here's the thing. The reason our world is the way it is our collective karma. If you look at the large spectrum of the news, not just political, but the social aspect, people are literally maiming themselves in so many different ways to become something other than who they are. People are trying to change, and I wanted that. I wanted to be someone else. I wanted to become someone cool. I wanted to become a powerful person. That's why I practiced black magic. That's why I played around with necromancy and the Ouija board. That's why I wanted to become a saint after that. And that's why I spent hours on my knees suffering from my sins, saying rosaries, chaplets of divine mercy, every chaplet you can think of. You know, chaplets for different prayer beads. They had some in the Catholic Church for every saint you can think of, including Jesus and the Virgin Mary. I spent hours before the Blessed Sacrament in churches in silence before the Blessed Sacrament. And then later on, when I became a Zen Buddhist, I spent hours in silence, my back burning, my thighs burning in the lotus position, just sitting. What did it do for me? Taught me how to sit. That's about it. I would walk out and some asshole would say or do something, and I wouldn't even need an asshole. I was the asshole most of the time. I would remember something. I would see a bird. I would see something totally unconnected, and it would bring back a thought from the past, some abuse from my parents or my sister, or a relative or a clerk or something, and these feelings of hate and rage would rise up inside of me. This is sleepwalking in samsara. We're walking in a dream state that vacillates from a pleasant dream to a nightmare from moment to moment. Josho Adrian compares it to clouds in the sky, our emotions, our feelings, what we go through, our thoughts. They're always changing. And watching these thoughts make me aware of one thing: they're unstable. I get stressed out from time to time. I get pissed off from time to time. I get frustrated from time to time. I get angry from time to time. I feel happy from time to time. I feel deep love and admiration for time to time. I feel contempt and hate from time to time. And there are times when I don't know what I feel. Welcome to the Saha realm. You, like me, are sleepwalking in the realm of samsara. Whether you realize it or not, you're sleepwalking right now. Whether you realize it or not, you, like me, are a sleepwalker. You're sleepwalking in this realm of samsara. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. The best thing, the only thing I found that I could do about it was say the name of Amida Buddha. Does this give me a pure mind and righteous thoughts? Hell no. I'm Dave. I'm Shaku Joshi. That's who I am. The only pure thing about me is my faith. And I proudly admit it, because I do not rely on my power, because it's unreliable. Look around, people. Who's in charge of anything? Really, seriously. Yes, we have some luxuries. Yes, we have some perks. I have a cell phone. I'm on my computer right now. This is a very nice apartment I live in. I'm very beautiful altar. Very proud of my altar. I love my altar. I love more who my altar is to and who is represented on this altar. Josho Adrian Serlia, my sensei, has said, saying Nembutsu is like hearing someone calling your name while you're asleep and dreaming. Someone from the outside is calling your name. The desire to say Nembutsu does not come from me. It comes from Amitabha Buddha. This is the only real thing in my life. This Nembutsu, Namo Amida Bu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Aida Fat, Namo Amitabhu, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Amitofo. These are always on my lips. Within a moment's notice. I don't remember to say them all the time, but I cling to them because I cling to the sleeves of Amida Buddha. I have found what works for me, what works for Dave. That is Amida Buddha. I've tried everything else. I've tried everything from angels in heaven to demons in hell to the Enneagram to you name it. I've cast spells for good, for evil. I've, you name it. The only thing that really stuck in all this, in 60 years of living on this planet, is the name of Amida Buddha, is the presence of Amida Buddha, is the 18th vow of Amida Buddha, the primal vow. If you will entrust yourself to Amida Buddha, if you will say the name of Amida Buddha and wish to be born in the land of Amida Buddha after you die, you will be. I will be. I have no doubt. I know this to be true because I know Amida Buddha is true. I know his name is true. My thoughts are not true. My emotions are not true. Whatever I accomplish can be undone within a second. Life is very fragile. Our way of life is very fragile. I'm enjoying the peace and tranquility of being safe and secure in my home. That can end in a minute. Anything could happen. I've said before, I ride my bicycle 5 miles to work, 5 miles back. I have been run over before. I've got the scars to prove it. And every day I go to and from work with the realization today could be my last day of life. It helps me to realize this. Because my efforts at anything are weak at best. It's not about loving myself, loving, hating anyone else. It's about me realizing I am a bamboo. I am a spiritual idiot. I am a flawed human being, just like every one of you and everyone on this earth at this point in time. This is the Dharma ending age of Mappo. Until Maitreya Buddha comes, we go farther and farther away from Shakyamuni Buddha's field of influence, since he has gone on into nirvana. Now, all Buddhas are here for us. And I found the best way to serve all Buddhas and worship all Buddhas is to worship Shakyamuni Buddha. Amida Buddha. Because I don't worship any other Buddha, and I meant to say Amida Buddha, but I was talking about Shakyamuni. Amida Buddha is my focus, my only focus. Amida Buddha is my only worship. Amida Buddha's name is the only name I recite. Because when you find the answer after years and years of searching, you realize you can't improve on something that doesn't come from you. Let me explain. Before I received the one thought moment of Shinjin, simple faith in Amida Buddha, I thought if I did more Buddhist practices, it would make me more pure and holy, and I would more quickly become a person of Shinjin. I thought the more Buddhas I prayed to, the more Buddhist devotions I did, the more hours of silent meditation I did, I would become more holy. I would make myself more holy and more presentable and open to receiving the one thought moment of Shinjin. When this didn't happen, I basically threw up the white flag and said, okay, if Amida Buddha is a real Buddha, if his primal vow is true, if the Pure Land is a real place, then Amida, in his time, in his way, will bring me to the one thought moment of Shinjin. And I let it go. I finally let it go. I just said Nimbutsu. I kept saying Nimbutsu. And one day, when I was getting ready for work, preparing something to eat, I got Shinjin. I realized Amida Buddha is real. His Pure Land is real, and I'm going there because his words are true, and therefore I'm saved. That's never changed. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't make that happen. I am not capable of maintaining that consistency in spiritual practice, in spiritual thought. This does not come from me. There is a real living Buddha named Amida, Amitabha, Amitofo, Aida Fat, Amitabha. This Buddha exists This Buddha touches my life. This Buddha is with me till the day I die in this realm. This Buddha Amitabha surpasses anything I am capable of achieving through my own weak merits. I have no faith in my merits anymore. You hear that in a lot of Buddhist schools. Do this, you'll gain good merits. I can blow away the best of my merits with just my foul mouth, my evil thoughts, my childishness, my pettiness. Amitabha Buddha is my saving grace because it doesn't come from me. My salvation comes from him. And that's why, as we sleepwalk in this realm of samsara, we would do well to understand that the reason the world and the people in it are so screwed up is because they are turning to their own self-power. They trust their judgment above all others. This is the result of spiritual idiots trusting their own judgment. And we are all spiritual idiots. When we trust instead in the grace and love of Amida Buddha, we allow him just to be who he is in our life, if that makes any sense. Like I said, I'm still flawed, I'm still dumb. I haven't become a genius or a mastermind or a celebrity or a floating water walking saint or anything else since receiving Shinjin. I have found Amida. I have found his name. And that is all I need. That's more than enough. Namo Amida Butsu. Peace. Have a great week, guys.